When you fly VFR, it's a good procedure to file a flight plan with a flight service station. Then, if something happens to you along the way, someone will know to begin looking for you, just in case you're not all right. There are several ways to file a VFR flight plan, including calling flight service at 1-800-WX-BRIEF, filing online using the flight service website at www.1800wxbrief.com, or by using the filing feature found in many aviation apps. The flight plan form in some of the apps may look slightly different than what you'll find on the flight service website, but they all require the same information. For this example, we'll use the 4Flight app on an iPad to demonstrate the filing process. The information requested begins with the designation of a VFR flight plan. This is a general aviation flight, so you'll select G for the flight plan type option. The aircraft section requires detailed information about your aircraft. First, the tail number is the registration or N number. Model code is the official ICAO designation of your airplane. The Cessna Skyhawk is a C-172. Next, describe the color of your aircraft, with the predominant color listed first and any trim colors next. Our Skyhawk is white with blue and gray. Home airport is where your airplane is based, using the 3 or 4 letter airport identifier. The equipment section requires you to describe the avionics and other resources available on the airplane, including transponder type, communication and navigation radios, GPS, and survival gear. There are a lot of options here, so you'll want to check with your flight instructor or the aircraft owner for the specifics to enter. Lastly, enter your planned true airspeed for the flight, which should be readily available from your pre-flight planning. Now that your aircraft data is entered, it's time to describe your planned flight. The departure airport should be listed using the identifier for that airport. The departure time is entered as local time when using 4Flight, but it may need to be entered in coordinated universal time when using other apps or flight plan services. Enter the number of occupants in the aircraft for souls aboard. The default route of flight will be designated as direct, meaning a straight line between the departure and destination airports. If you plan to include a nav aid or other waypoints along the way, enter that information here. The altitude is your initial cruising altitude. For example, if you plan the first leg of a trip at 3,500 feet and the second leg at 5,500, you should enter 3,500 in the cruising altitude box. The estimated time en route is filed in hours and minutes. Fuel on board is also provided in hours and minutes of flying time. Remarks should be anything pertinent to the flight, such as the fact that you're a student pilot flying solo, or any supplemental information related to the aircraft type or equipment. Your destination is just what it sounds like, the identifier for where you're going. You have the option of listing the name and number of someone at the destination who would know you have arrived in case the flight plan does not get closed in time. The final step is to enter your personal data, including name, email, home address, and phone number. This flight plan is now ready to be filed. This is typically done at the same time you get your weather briefing. You can also file a flight plan in the air by radio. Either way, it's important to always file a VFR flight plan when going cross-country. Think of it as very cheap insurance. The flight plan will be held by the flight service station for 1 hour after the proposed departure time, unless you call back with a revision. The flight plan is opened by radio right after you've departed.
Dayton Radio, Skycatcher 3030 November, listening on 122.4.
3030 November, Dayton Radio, go ahead.
Dayton Radio, Skycatcher 30 November, just departed, India 69er, 50 past the hour. I would like to open my VFR flight plan.
Roger, 3030 November. Open your VFR flight plan and date and altimeter is 29908.
Thank you, 30 November.
Closing your flight plan is as important as filing it. If you don't, they'll start to search for you 30 minutes after your estimated time of arrival. At first, they'll begin a telephone search, calling the destination airport or your destination contact if you listed one. If you're not located that way, then it gets very serious and expensive. If it's suspected that you've made an off-airport landing, a full-blown search and rescue will be initiated. This is not